And we welcome Sia.
I love her. She's just as crazy as we are.
Yeah. Sia, before we get this thing rolling, you are out of your friggin' mind. You know that? But that's good. That's good. You know,
I feel really super at home here with you, freaks.
And you should. You should. And, you know, we were talking to Sia as she was walking in. You have every accent and dialect going on. So you're originally from Australia.
Yeah, Adelaide.
And then you moved to London.
Yeah, for 8 years. And then I've been here now for 10 years.
Where in the States have you lived for 10 years?
New York and LA.
All right. So your accent is everywhere.
Yes, wonky.
It's global.
Wonky. You know what people are saying now? They're saying that I sound like I'm from the South.
Can you do a New York accent, like a straight one?
Like, not like a straight one. I have to do the, like, really full-on, like, I like baseball kind of one.
Oh, my Lord.
Like, I need a piece of pizza.
Immediately she starts throwing her hands around because that's what you have to do.
Here's my question. Here's my question, because I can ask this question. I'm allowed to ask this question because I am the way I'm about to describe you.
Okay.
You're out there.
Yeah.
You're a very fun person. When you're alone, do you drive yourself nuts? Do you go crazy sometimes with yourself?
No, because I take medication for it.
Well, there you have it. Maybe I should start that.
It's called Neurontin.
My Lord. How many milligrams per day do I have to take?
I'm on the highest dose.
Oh, my Lord. You know, Sia, of course, you hear her, and if you've ever met her, she's just a ball of fun, and you're just this great energy floating around.
Thank you.
But I will tell you, she has a voice. She has this voice, and the first time I truly fell in love with your voice was right here. One of the best songs ever. Now, I mean, you originally didn't want to do the song, did you?
No, I wrote it. It was when I just had retired, and I was like, I just got sober, and I was over being an artist, and I didn't want to. I don't know. I just wanted to change everything.
Right.
I didn't want to tour anymore, and I wanted to live a still kind of ritualistic existence where I just did certain things at each time of the day, and I was home with the dogs, and it was like, this is what I needed to stay sober and just be a healthy person, right?
Right.
So, so I was like, what can I do? I want to write pop songs for pop stars, and Joe actually introduced me to JD, my manager, and he was the only person I met with who was like, I might be able to make that happen for you. He really listened to me. And then a few months later, he put me in a studio with 10 David Guetta tracks. And I wrote this one, was intended for Alicia Keys, because David said, Alicia's going to feature on the record. Will you write a song for her? And then they sent it to her, and something happened. She didn't end up doing it. And then Mary J. Blige cut it, which means recorded it. Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, he took her vocal off and put mine back on and assumed that I would be thrilled.
And you weren't thrilled?
Isn't that weird? I mean, I'm thrilled now because I have 2 houses to thank for it.
You go, girl. All right.
It's hard to stay mad when something buys you that many things.
I see.
It really bought me a lifestyle I'd never known before.
Well, I know, but was it being featured on this track that got you back into performing?
Well, no. It was what helped me fulfill my desire to become a successful pop songwriter. It really did wonders for that.
Right.
And because it showed, I guess, pop stars and record labels that I can write a real pop song. And so that was the transitional sort of moment for me. And then that made me feel confident. I guess I knew then that I could put out records for my fans and that I didn't have to do anything to support them because I didn't need to make money from my own music anymore.
Wow, that's okay. So you put out music for the sheer joy of putting out music.
Yeah. And now with this record, the only thing I'm doing, and RCA was amazing because they signed a contract saying I didn't actually have to do any promo,
which is very unusual for a record company.
It's never happened before. I don't think ever.
Usually, just to let you know a backstory, if an artist is signed, they in the paperwork say you have to go out on the road, you have to go to radio stations, you have to be on tour,
on TV shows,
and they said no, Sia, you just give us music and you can go away.
Yeah, and so I think that's probably, it's almost like, if you love someone, set them free, because now I'm here sitting with you.
But why are you here sitting with us? You could be at home right now with your dogs.
Yeah, well, what happens is that they tell me what's truly, truly important, what's really going to support the record. And I think what happens is that when something gets half successful, there's some part of me that's clearly ambitious and has drive that thinks, okay, so I'm going to choose the 5 things that I'm willing to give up 20 minutes of my life or an hour or even a whole day in order to support this record, because I must want it to go to like number 1. There must be a part of me that wants that.
What a life! What a wonderful, beautiful life you get to live.
Exactly, and I still don't have to do anything that involves my face, so I can still lead a reasonably private life.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
then.
is that because I know that you've performed with your back to the audience, and is that just for your privacy?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a nice ass?
Really good. I really have a great ass.
All right.
It's really good.
Well, may I see it?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Okay, here's Sia's ass.
Let's see.
I'm going to do movie.
Oh, wow.
You do have a nice ass.
Oh, my God.
Look at her.
You have it covered up with that loose shirt. You should take that off, honey. You look great.
No, but I like for my body to be a wonderful surprise for whoever
Oh, my
finally
Lord.
peels off my clothes.
Okay. So, and you know, the interview's young. So I mean, we saw you perform. Was it on Ellen?
With Ellen?
With Ellen
Yeah.
DeGeneres.
Yeah.
And did you? And
She's so nice.
I know, but did you feel odd performing with your back to the audience?
It was super weird, but here's the other thing: is that the other liberty I can take, I guess, now is that I can, like I said to JD when we were talking about what I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do, and it was like I just don't want to do anything I haven't done yet. I mean, I've already done.
Okay.
I only want to do things I haven't done yet, and I'm like, or silly things that I like can't believe people letting me get away with, like wearing a paper bag on the front cover on my head on the front cover of Billboard. I can't believe that they let me do that. It's hilarious.
You're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they go, no, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is I don't need to do anything I don't want to, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my privacy.
Wouldn't it be great for anyone in life to be able to say that?
Yeah.
Say, you know what?
I'm very privileged.
But unfortunately, there are people who have to put food on the table and they don't have a choice. They have to face the camera, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, in whatever aspect
Well,
of
no,
their lives.
I think that it's possible for anyone to create this kind of career if they think laterally, but people don't trust or have faith that they can get away with more than they think they can. And
Absolutely.
because this whole system is established that, you know, you really have to go whore yourself out and like hypersexualize yourself, or if you're a woman in pop, to sell records, or it's exhausting. My friends who are pop stars are exhausted.
Rihanna, Katy Perry, Britney Spears, our friend Leah Michelle, Shakira, Christina Aguilera, Madonna, Celine Dion, Beyonce. The list goes on and on. All these artists that you've written for. Is it to the point now where when your phone rings, you can assume it's an artist begging you for a hit? I mean, has it turned into that kind of business?
She's so honest. I love
No,
it.
really. I mean, do you? I mean, pardon my ignorance, but do you have songs stashed away, waiting for the right artist to call, and you go, you know, I got something for you, and you go dig it out and you see if they like it?
I have a bunch of songs that I think are amazing that haven't been cut yet. But no, I don't really keep them. I send them out as soon as they're done.
Right.
And so what happens is I'll write. I don't have an artist in mind when I'm writing. I just write the song, and then it tells me where it belongs.
Have you ever had artists try to outbid each other for a song, or don't give that to her, I want that song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote this song called Pretty Hurts, which is Beyonce's new single.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote that song like 2.5 years ago on the sofa in this tiny little apartment that I'd gotten in LA for when I was there. And I wrote it for Katy Perry. And I didn't know her at that point, and I wasn't established or successful. So I sent it to her people, and I don't know how, but I don't think she ever got it. And then a year later or whatever, Rihanna put it on hold. She had it on hold for 8 months, so it missed her first album, and then it was planned to go on the second album. And then maybe a couple months before Rihanna's album was going to be completed, Beyonce heard it somehow, and I don't know how, and she slid right into home base and she put down the paperwork for it. Yeah.
Wow.
And
There's paperwork. There's like
an
application.
Yeah, well, it's interesting.
does that work?
It's not for me. Nobody gets paid for a song. It's an investment. So basically I work, and it's like an investment in my future. So I'll write a song and then deliver it to whoever I think should sing it. And then if they say we want this, then it's their responsibility if they really want that song. And I mean, it's good politics not to then give it to someone else to listen to.
I would think so.
But sometimes you send a song out to a lot of people just to see who bites, you know? And that's my older style as opposed to now I really hear who I think should sing it.
But wait, now you have your own thing going. Your album, of course, which we have to get to.
Yeah.
You write
Who cares about that? This is way more interesting.
No, not at all. Well,
to me.
It sort of ties in. I mean, you write a song and then you say, you know what, this is really my voice I hear on this song. This is my song. No one else gets this.
Yes, sometimes that happens. Like with Chandelier, I surprised myself. I was like, I might be attached to this. I think I might have to do this myself.
She had Umbrella. She can't do Chandelier and Umbrella.
No, but you don't understand. That's what you do. You choose one word.
Right.
Parachute, for instance.
Yes.
Titanium.
Right, yes. Titanium. And then you basically milk the metaphor. That's part of my formula. So you need to have a strong title because labels want you to be able to Google it simply.
Right.
Right. So you take, I'm fully divulging all my top secrets.
Well, there's Cannonball.
Right.
From Leah Michelle. Britney Spears, Perfume.
Right. You guys.
Oh my God. We just
Oh my God. We're cracking the code, dudes.
we're pretty slow.
Dude, I got to tell you, the day after I wrote Perfume for Britney, I wrote Cologne.
Who would you give that to? Kanye.
I tried to give that to Kelly Clarkson. Is anyone going to do that yet? Okay, that's a hit though, so someone will do that. And Adam, Britney's manager, tried to get Britney to do it for her second single.
Oh my God, I love it.
Wouldn't that have been amazing? I was like, are you insane and also maybe a genius? I can't tell.
When you are just going about your busy day, Sia,
yes.
does a song just hit you and you just have to run and write it down? I mean, how does the process...
A title might hit me.
What happens?
Like a concept, like a title or a concept might hit me.
Right.
I mean, I'll show you, and for the people at home, I'll tell you what I'm doing.
You have a song being written in your purse?
No, I mean, yes. I do have one melody that keeps popping in, but this is what I do. I have in my notes on my iPhone, I have one note that just says song ideas. And here it is. And so here, and I'm showing them, it's just titles, basically.
All on your iPhone.
And it goes, as you can see, it goes for like about a zillion pages. And you'll see every title of every song that you've ever heard on the radio that I wrote. You'll see in this.
This original text that you had written.
Yeah, this is just concepts. So, you know, and if I told you now, I'd have to kill you, what they say.
Okay.
Because I need to make $1 million off those.
We could use a new house.
Oh, man. Out of all the artists you've worked with, which one do you think would be out there enough to do something crazy? They're like look at you and they go, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that.
And what do you mean by crazy? Just so I can really answer.
Experimental and new and different and fresh.
I think all of the artists want to be pushed forward. But I think that Beyonce and Rihanna really, especially Beyonce, really takes it that one step to the left.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know,
to the left. I looked over at David, my managay, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
So, you know, we've talked about everyone's album, but we haven't talked about yours.
Now, boring.
Do you really not want to talk about your album? Because I think we should.
I don't care. Yeah, you go for it. Whatever you want. I'm here for you, baby.
Thank you, lover.
You're generous, lover.
The album is 1,000 Forms of Fear. It comes out July 8th. Of course, you can pre-order it now on iTunes.
Please do.
Of course, we're playing Chandelier.
Yeah.
Does this album have one message, or is it individual songs?
Well, I don't know. They were all written as just individual songs because every day I write, or maybe 4 days a week, I'll write 2 songs per day. So it takes me about 2 hours to write and record a song. Mm-hmm. And so I never know where it's going to end up. The song ends up telling me where it should end up, and sometimes it tells me it belongs with me.
Give me an idea of, you know, if you're sitting in front of 20 of your songs you've written, but one sticks out as the one you want to keep for yourself. Give me an idea of what those songs say to you versus the other ones that are fantastic songs, but they're going somewhere else.
I think I care about what they say. And when I'm writing pop songs, it's like I make them broader and more generic because the truth is that if you want something to be commercially successful, it has to appeal to the most people and the broadest amount of people, and people have to be able to project and attach some of their own experiences to it. So the simpler you make it, the more successful it will be. So those are the songs I tend to give away because they're more successful. Whereas for myself, I get to be a little bit more cerebral or say things that they can't, or just be more indie, I guess. Well, so things won't get on the radio.
Boil down.
I don't care.
Are there some songs where the music is more important than the lyrics, or vice versa?
And when you say, well, see, the thing is that I don't know. What my job is I do top line, which is melody and lyrics. And mm-hmm. I did write the chords to Chandelier, but I'm just learning how to write music and play the piano and write using chords. So for me, I think melody is more important than words. I don't think people listen to words that much.
You know what we've learned in radio after all the years is women tend to hear the lyrics and men tend to hear the music, the melody a little more. Do you play keyboard? Do you play what instrument?
I have
do
a
you play?
piano at my house.
Did you teach yourself how to play?
Well, I'm still teaching myself how to play. I mean, I have a recording of me writing a song on the piano.
May we hear that?
Of course, it's ridiculous.
Because I could buy a new house with this.
Yeah, right? This is how, like, naive it is. I'm trying to find it. No, see, I'm trying to find it.
Are you going to find it?
Yeah. There it is.
Wow.
And then I find it. I'm using the first root note. Then there we go. I found it. Found it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You found it.
That's so
That is
cool.
amazing. I like it. You don't even know what the words are. You're just like,
Yeah. So, but now it sticks in my head. So it's. May
I give you a little advice of all people to give Sia advice?
Get a piano lesson?
Don't take piano lessons.
Oh, that's
You know,
so nice.
when I was a kid, I played beautifully by ear, and then they forced me to take piano lessons, and I couldn't do it anymore, and I no longer can play the piano.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear the chord in my head, so all I have to do is find the 3 notes that make up the chord, and then like teach myself what they are and just like keep
Do
going
that.
around them.
Teach yourself.
Because I hear everything in my head. So, like when I work with a pianist to write a song, I'm like this one, and then they find the root note, and then they do that for me, and they do it much faster. But it's fun to try and do it myself because I'm a megalomaniac.
No.
I did the artwork for the CD and I directed the video
Good for you.
chandelier, and now I want to become like a full 100% songwriter.
Yeah. There are no credits on the back. It just says Sia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You are. I find this probably one of the most fascinating interviews we've ever done.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
just with your iPhone, you took us to a place that we've never been before.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks.
No, really, stop it.
That's the coolest sound I've ever heard in my life.
What was that? What was that?
That was a Gyuto monk
Do it
sound.
again. Let me. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that
Yeah,
sound.
I know. It's gag. It's like a gag reflex.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that in front of guys.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Okay.
You know what?
I took it there. He just picked it up. He knew exactly what I was saying.
1,000 Forms of Fear out July 8th. You can pre-order it now on iTunes. And after this conversation with Sia, how could you not order it? Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Was it fun being had?
Oh, yeah. You
Okay,
guys are nice.
No,
That's really the most important thing to me.
as you move forward with your career, as you will always be doing, I mean, when you make decisions to go to an interview, which you rarely do, come here. You always have a place with us.
Thank you.
All right?
That's so nice.
See ya.
Thank you.
Look at her.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.